we want to start today by reminding you that in time you will come to trust that there is a communication between you and your inner being, and therefore between you and that which is us, without exception. There were several who talked about not really trusting yourself or not really trusting your world. How can you trust your next partner to not be abusive since your last one was? Or how can you trust your next employer to be fair with you since the last one was not? How can you trust humanity when humanity seems to be in upheaval or not honest or not, in your words, trustworthy? And so, while there are those around you who have a variation of desires and intentions and beliefs, and while some of them are a vibrational match to what they believe and some of them aren't, it's quite a mixed bag of the energies or vibrations that you encounter as you are moving about in your physical time and space. If you are interested in knowing what's up with everyone, listening into their conversations, verbal or vibrational, you will likely find yourself having a difficult time maintaining any sort of balance, because there is a lot of variety, and when you contemplate it, you become it for the time of your contemplation. And it causes you to experience what we are calling split energy, or confused energy, or fragmented energy, or contradictory energy. It's not just contradictory from person to person. It's contradictory from you to your inner being. There are lots of different ways of looking at this. A person can have a strong conviction about something, a really solid belief about something, and not be a vibrational match to their own inner being about it. So there's the split energy between you and your inner being, which is important. And there is also the kind of split energy where you want it, but you worry about it, or you like this about this person, but you don't like that about that person, or you remember your past, which was pleasant, and you compare it negatively to your now, which isn't, or other way around. In other words, there are lots of ways to diffuse your focus, to water it down. There are lots of ways to gather up things that you believe, opinions. A belief is a thought that you continue to think. An opinion, that's a strong belief that you continue to think. But as you gather these up, as you pick them up along your physical trail, you may very well, in fact, almost everyone does, have opinions that contradict each other. And that causes an unsettled feeling. And mostly, and this is what we are leading up to, it causes a feeling of insecurity on your part. When you are determined about something, when you are decided about something, when you've made up your mind about something, even if you're not able to maintain that thought in a consistent way, so sometimes you feel uneasy about it or insecure about it, there still is great advantage in determination. In Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich, it was one of Jerry's early favorites as he was beginning to understand how to be more deliberately creative in his own life. And there is a phrase from that book, many helpful phrases, but a particular phrase from that book. Napoleon Hill talked about having definiteness of purpose, meaning you have sifted and sorted and you've come to a decision about something. And because you've thought about your decision, you've defined it, and you have become more definite about it. You are more determined about it. You are more focused about it. You are deliberately thinking about that. You are not contradicting yourself about it. And one of you asked, what was the power of that? And so we thought that's a good place to start here today, because there is power in defining something and focusing on that something, whatever it is, and not contradicting that whatever it is. Because that's the way the thought gathers momentum. And when momentum becomes faster, your attraction power is more also. So anytime you decide something, as you focus upon it more, because you've decided it, the law of attraction just helps you naturally with that. More momentum about your decision ensues, which then makes you more aware of when you are defying your own decision, talking against it, arguing for your limitation. In other words, I want this, but I'm not capable of doing it yet, sometimes you say. So not being able to do it is a limitation for what you've decided. And as you argue for that, you create a sort of tug of war within yourself. Now, the reason that we are having all of these pieces of conversations with you is because we're wanting to stir you up just a little bit. Because as we move through these pages and as we feel you out there in the ethers, it is our powerful expectation that today you will come to a keener understanding of the blend of energies, or the blend of vibrations, or the blend of focus, or the blend of you and you, or the blend of you and your own beliefs, or the blend of your desires and your beliefs and how they play together, or the blend of your beliefs and other people who hang around with you's beliefs, or you're sticking your nose in the business of others and therefore causing some conflict in your own beliefs. In other words, we really want you to feel the subject of your blending of energies. What is the mix of vibration that is going on within you in any point in time? And the reason that that matters to you so much is because whatever that mix of energies is, whatever your vibrational offering is based upon what's active now and now and now, that equals your point of attraction. So many of you not really enjoying your current now point of attraction, as if you don't understand that you can do something about it other than just observing it and not liking it. It is a good idea for you to make a decision at minimum. I'm going to be aware of what my vibrational offering is. And the way I'm going to be aware of it, first and foremost, is I'm going to pay attention to the way I feel. And I'm going to understand, we're speaking words for you. I'm going to understand, I've decided to understand that my emotions are my indicator of my mix. So if you feel fear, that means you have a strong desire and a strong belief that opposes your strong desire. If you feel unsettled about something, that means you sort of want something and you're sort of focused sloppily. If you feel elation or passion, that means you have a strong desire, and right now you're focused in a way that you've allowed the momentum to gather some speed, and there's not contradiction within you on a subject that you really care about. So let's just move through these pages together and see if you can't leave this gathering with a stronger decision within you, that you're going to pay more attention, that you're going to be more deliberate about your focus, that you're going to have more definiteness of purpose, that you're going to stop just messing around with this. You're going to decide. Now, some of you, we can hear you. You are confused a little bit because you've heard us say to you to relax, to chill out. And so we'll weave it all together here. This is not difficult, this business of deliberate creation. One of the things that Jerry said to Esther on a regular basis was, Esther, just because you can do it doesn't mean you should do it. If Esther had an extra minute, she would want to fill it in with something productive. For a while, when telephone consultations were in the mix of things that Esther was doing, they were doing workshops every weekend and telephone consultations in between, with a long list of people booked out for months and months, and people still trying to get in with more and more urgent requests. And so Esther would add another one and another one and another one until she barely was getting out of her chair all day long. And Jerry was noticing that she was not having much fun because she was not doing the playful things that she once had done in her sense of responsibility. And he would say, just because you can doesn't mean you should, because there are all kinds of things that you can do, and there are all kinds of things that you believe that you should do. But we want to remind you how this all works. We're going to talk about the most important 3 steps. Step 1 is ask. Now, what helps you to ask is the contrast that you are moving around in, which helps you to define what you want. And whether you use words or not, life helps you to come to those preferences about what you want. So your asking is taken care of whether you're putting any words to it or not. Your vortex is the result of your asking. It's a vibrational gathering of desires that have been given birth to by you through the life that you live. And your inner being, who is absolutely non-resistant in nature, is a vibrational match to everything you've asked for. That's why we wrote the book, Ask and It Is Given, because when you ask, it is given. When you ask, it is given instantly. Now, we didn't put when you ask it is given instantly in the book title because it would have made you rebel, even though it's absolutely the way it is, because there is a step, there is a gap between it being given vibrationally and you figuring out how to surf your way into allowing what you've asked for, how to relax your way into what you've asked for, to believe your way into what you've asked for. So when we talk about definiteness of purpose, when we talk about processes like affirmation or processes like scripting or like telling a new story or like telling the story the way you want it to be, when we talk about processes like the creation box, where you take a box and you say to the box, what's in this box actually already is. And then you write it down or you put a picture of it. You put some description of it in the box and you close the lid and you say, it's done. What's in here already is. The reason that we teach these processes is not because you need to do things in order to make things happen. The laws of the universe, the energies of the universe are the engine that makes things happen. The law of attraction is the gatherer of the cooperative components. But the more definite you are in your purpose, the more time you spend imagining or visualizing the pleasant result of the manifestation of what's in your vortex, the more you are a vibrational match to the energy that's in the vortex, the more airtime you give it, the more you practice it until it just becomes second nature to you to trust and to expect. If you can relax and have fun and know that everything will come, it is our promise to you that it will.